Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar today. We're going to wait just another minute or two to let everyone get in that's running a little late. So just sit tight. All right. Well, welcome and thank you all, everyone, for joining our webinar today, Beyond the Policy, How Insurers Can Enhance CX and Speed Up Digital Transformation. We're joined today by two experts in the field, Erica Gnajek, a Senior Solution Architect for Liferay, and Rafael Gomes, Head of Business Development for Objective Group. Just a quick housekeeping items before I pass things over to Erica to get started. We will have time for questions and answer at the end of today's webinar. So if you have any questions throughout the presentation, you can use the question box icon at the top right-hand side of your screen to ask any questions, and we'll try to get to as many as we can at the end of today's session. So without further ado, I'll pass it over to Erica to get started.
Hey, thanks a lot, AJ. Hey, everyone. Thank you for being here today. As AJ said, joining me for our chat is Rafael Gomes, Head of Business Development for Objective Group, one of Liferay's top solution partners in the insurance space. With their expertise in CX and accelerating DXP modernization and migration with AI, we were able to help many customers across the globe, such as Zurich and Sul America. I'd like to start by saying that we are all of us a part of the insurance user journey. From the car we drive to the place that we call home, it touches our lives in lots of ways. And we all want things to be a little bit smoother, a little bit easier, especially when it comes to something as important as protecting what matters most. So, in the next little while, we're going to explore some ways that we can continue to make the experience of insurance feel less like a chore and more like, well, a helpful or maybe an even human interaction. We'll touch on making things more personal, getting things done without the usual fuss, and even taking a fresh look at how we think about risk. As all of you here with me are familiar with, insurance companies operate in a complex, rapidly changing industry. We're faced with some big questions. How can insurers optimize all of these processes and create better experiences for all customers, including agents? How can we make information transparent and accessible? How can we deliver dependency and trust in a time of constant transition and uncertainty, all while managing customers' most important assets, their properties, their families, and their health? The answer lies in digital transformation. Digitalization gives companies the power to manage transformations rather than passively enduring them. The case in point, look at the pandemic, where many companies were able to respond promptly, adapting their services to meet the changing needs of consumers or to diversify their businesses. So, what are some of the other challenges that lie ahead? There are a few I'd like to highlight today as we talk about how to navigate today's digital landscape. And I'm guessing you've probably encountered some of these challenges along the way yourselves. The inefficiencies of manual processes, siloed systems, and limited automation all can result in high administrative costs, bottlenecks, and sluggish turnaround times. These issues then create friction in the user journey and diminish customer happiness. We have a unique ability to empathize with our customers and imagine their frustrations because we ourselves are customers too. I'd like to start though by defining what is a DXP exactly. A digital experience platform is kind of like a central hub for all of the digital experiences a company offers its customers, from websites to mobile apps and beyond. Our insurance customers depend on Liferay to help them deliver digital insurance solutions and experiences across that single platform. We've helped our customers improve business operations, provide excellent customer experiences with accelerated delivery, jumpstarting their digital transformations and maximizing ROI. Another way of looking at DXP is the customer lifecycle. The journey starts before a customer becomes a customer and continues through engaging, converting, and retaining customers, and then serving them well and growing them. By providing users with intuitive tools and readily available information within Liferay's DXP, there's no question that empowering them to independently find solutions and to complete tasks significantly accelerates issue resolution and reduces reliance on direct support. Let's take a quick look at how DXPs can help streamline self-service. User-friendly online portals and mobile apps empower both customers and agents to independently find answers and manage many routine tasks. Reducing the volume of calls and emails handled by customer service representatives then frees up their time for more complex issues. Using workflow to digitize and optimize processes like underwriting, policy administration, and claims handling can eliminate bottlenecks, manual handoffs, or repetitive tasks, leading to faster turnaround times and improved efficiencies. Applying lean principles to identify and eliminate waste in processes, such as unnecessary steps, delays, and redundancies, can significantly improve efficiencies and reduce costs. The first point I'd like to cover is that Liferay DXP comes with a native workflow engine out of the box. When a policy change request is submitted, a native workflow engine can automatically pull relevant policy details, check policy eligibility rules, trigger necessary approvals from the underwriting module, and update the billing system, all within a unified environment. An automated claims workflow can also use predefined rules based on coverage, loss type, and adjuster authority to route claims, to trigger payment approvals and generate communications, ensuring consistent application of company policies. When a customer submits a claim form, either scanned or digitally, a DXP can automatically extract key information like policy number, claimant details, date of loss, and description of the incident. This structured and validated data extracted from forms can then be fed into AI models for faster and more consistent data-driven decisions. DXPs can also help in streamlining processes to ensure that the right resources, be it personnel, technology, information, are all available at the right time and in the right place. In claims processing, streamlining could involve automating initial data capture, directly routing claims to the appropriate adjuster based on the loss type, and providing adjusters with digital tools for on-site assessments, reducing that back and forth and manual paperwork that traditionally slow down the process. A DXP can also help accuracy in reducing regulatory risks by centralizing that data and content, automating compliance workflows, and providing robust security and audit trail features, thereby minimizing human errors and ensuring adherence to legal requirements. The last point I'll hit on this topic of streamlining self-service is that one of the essential requirements for a DXP is to provide better journeys for both agents and policyholders. While basic changes can be fully automated, providing guided self-service tools to policyholders for more complex modifications, for example, adding riders, changing coverage limits, can empower customers while still ensuring accuracy. Agents also need a single intuitive portal accessible on any device, be it laptops, tablets, smartphones, that provides a comprehensive view of all of the necessary information. This includes real-time policy details, customer history, billing information, claim statuses, and much more. The industry is increasingly prioritizing the elevation of the digital experience through deep personalization, moving away from standardized policies and impersonal interactions. This trend leverages advanced data analytics, AI, and a wealth of customer information to tailor every aspect of the insurance journey. Liferay's DXP can help to unify that customer data from various sources to create a complete 360-degree view, enabling insurance companies to deeply understand individual needs. This comprehensive insight then powers personalized digital experiences across all touchpoints, from self-service portals to agent interactions, ensuring every customer feels uniquely valued and served. Insurers will continue to manufacture the insurance products we've come to rely on, but it's critical to have more input from inside and beyond the traditional insurance industry. These forces can include AI capabilities, such as generative AI that supplements the traditional coverage's recommender duties, intelligent segmentation to automatically group users into dynamic and granular segments based on their behaviors, their preferences, and predicted future actions. This enables highly personalized and tailored digital experience, from dynamically priced policies and customized coverage options to personalized communication and proactive service. The first point I'd like to cover here is how AI-driven content has become increasingly crucial over time. Based on the AI-driven analysis of a customer's profile and needs, insurers can offer personalized policy recommendations, cross-selling, and upselling opportunities. For an example, are there other products that could be automatically recommended, such as flood insurance if the property is in a high-risk area, or offering a bundled discount if they also take out auto? AI algorithms can also identify patterns and predict future customer needs or potential life events that might necessitate changes to their insurance coverages. For example, if a customer's life stage changes, it might help to proactively trigger relevant content, such as information about increasing life insurance coverage or adding a dependent to their health plan. Even without that intelligent prefix, segmentation remains a foundational element for creating personalized customer journeys in the insurance industry. By using DXPs to divide that customer base into distinct groups based on shared characteristics, you can still tailor your interactions. Grouping customers based on factors like location, behaviors, specific insurance needs, and life stages can all provide basic personalization of product recommendations and messaging. For example, highlighting earthquake insurance to customers residing in seismically active zones. Segmenting new customers based on their policy types and demographics allows for tailored onboarding processes, such as a new homeowner receiving a welcome package with specific information about their homeowner's policy, local resources for home maintenance, and contact information for their dedicated agent. One of the biggest ways that DXPs can help craft tailored digital experiences is through highly personalized customer journeys. This includes personalized product recommendations, of course, relevant articles and FAQs, tailored calls to action, and even customized layouts. For example, when a customer logs into the insurer's app, they might see a dashboard highlighting the specific policies they hold, quick links to common actions like filing a claim for their most frequent policy type, and personalized tips related to their coverage. One example might be driving safety tips for auto insurance holders in Chicago during the wintertime, which I think we could all use a little bit more of. A tailored digital experience ensures a smooth transition for customers moving between different interaction channels, like the website, app, email, phone, in person. Their context and preferences are all carried over, preventing them from having to repeat information or restart processes. For example, a customer who started their quote online should be able to seamlessly continue the process through a mobile app or with a phone agent with all of their previously entered information readily available. The agent should also have access to that customer's digital journey, allowing for a more informed and personalized conversation. Now I'd like to turn things over to Rafael to share with us how an insurance company used Liferay DXP to streamline self-service and personalize the customer journey.
Thanks, Erica. Yeah, so to make Erica's explanation a bit more tangible and provide a real example, we are bringing an insurance case study that demonstrates how Liferay helped improve the digital experience for both customers and brokers. And as we know, and as Erica mentioned, enabling real-time decision making for those that are on the front line can be really challenging, especially in a highly dynamic industry like insurance, where many options are available, and the digital experience can be the decisive factor between making a sale or losing ground to competitors. And that's exactly why West Bend, one of the leading insurance companies, um, which provides a broad range of insurance coverage for homes, autos, and businesses, they decided to shift it to Liferay. And they were actually facing three uh, main challenges. The first one was related to outdated technology that was not meeting the expectations of customers and brokers. The second one, I would say, it's a lack of access to real-time data. And the third one, which was probably the most pressing need they had, was a coding system that was time intensive and not very intuitive. So why Liferay and how did a partner and customer portal help them? So from the policyholders' perspective, um, now they have access to self-service account management, so they can easily access and manage their accounts at any time. They can handle billing, payments, and account changes without needing, assistance from a representative. There's also role-based content delivery, so all users can access the portal through a single link, but the content is always personalized based on their role and preferences, which in the end supports better and faster decision making. Um, the third one, from the policyholder perspective, I would say it's mobile responsiveness. Liferay offers a smooth, consistent experience across different platforms and devices, which is really, really important as users are always using and shifting to different devices. And finally, dashboards. So policyholders, they can customize their dashboards to highlight information and shortcuts that they think are more uh, or most relevant to them, and that always make it easier to find important data quickly. And from the perspective of the agents, the first one I'd like to mention is personalization. So portals tailored to agents' needs helped to streamline the quoting process, and now it's only required a minimum data, which makes the experience easier and more attractive for the agents on the field. Time responsiveness, it's something really important. So when you're quoting a policy, and the quoting time dropped from hours to under 10 minutes, which is really, really nice. And I would say also search and tagging, because search and tagging features help a lot to find important information and to organize this information for repeated use. So in terms of results uh, that this project helped and brought to the customer, I would say online quoting increased from 20 to 65% after implementation. So this increase in adoption really shows that Liferay helped to create a compelling and frictionless experience. And as I mentioned, quoting time was reduced from hours to under 10 minutes. which is awesome. And in the end, all of these, digital experiences available to customers and brokers helped to reduce support calls and therefore the costs. Yeah, so Erica, I hand over back to you.
Thanks so much, Rafael, for walking us through that case study. Next, I'd like to talk about security. In today's world, a proactive and security-focused approach facilitated by a DXP reacts not only to user needs, but also foresees potential issues or requirements. It actively works to avoid negative outcomes or risks, and ultimately safeguards users, data, and the overall digital environment. By enriching internal data with external insights, integrating third-party data enables insurers to gain a more comprehensive and predictive view of risks, allowing for earlier identification and proactive mitigation strategies. Predictive models empower insurers to anticipate those future challenges and implement proactive mitigation measures before they escalate. A faster risk to action response enables insurers to quickly identify emerging threats and to analyze their potential impact and implement timely interventions to prevent or minimize negative consequences. In essence, third-party data empowers insurance companies to move from a reactive approach to risk management, which is assessing risk based solely on applicant-provided information, to a more proactive stance. A DXP can seamlessly integrate data from various internal platform and systems, for example, CRM, ERP, customer service, with a wide array of external third-party data sources. This provides a much more holistic view of potential risks than relying on internal data alone. Third-party data can encompass so many different risk dimensions, including financial health data, cybersecurity risk data, environmental and compliance data. DXPs can augment internal user profiles with risk scores and indicators from third-party fraud intelligence platforms. These platforms aggregate data from numerous sources, identifying patterns and behaviors associated with fraudulent activities. For example, a third-party risk score might indicate that a user's IP address or device has been linked to previous fraudulent transactions across different online services. Before a transaction is completed, a DXP can send transaction details, for example, the amount, the recipient, location, device information, to third-party risk scoring engines. These engines analyze that data in real time, comparing it against vast data sets of known fraud patterns and risk indicators, and can return an overall risk score. Transactions exceeding a certain risk threshold can be automatically blocked or flagged for manual review. A huge part of proactive risk management is by building predictive models. Digital experience platforms can integrate predictive models to analyze customer data and behaviors, enable personalized experiences, content recommendations, and proactive engagement across various digital touchpoints. This can include predictive models for scoring for risk or pricing, as well as forecasting future policy lapses and cancellations. Predictive models can analyze policyholder profiles and life stage changes to identify opportunities for cross-selling or upselling relevant coverage options. Okay, the last point I'd like to cover here is that by accelerating the speed at which insurers can move from identifying a risk to taking concrete action, DXPs can significantly enhance proactive risk management. Here's just a few ways. By implementing processes for monitoring various data sources in real time, including IoT devices, for example, telematics or smart home sensors, like weather feeds or social media sentiment, this all allows for the immediate detection of potential risks as they emerge. One example would be a real-time weather data feed that could trigger an alert when a severe hailstorm is predicted to hit a region with a high concentration of insured properties. They can develop predefined action plans and automating workflows for various types of risks, ensuring a swift and coordinated response. These plans outline the specific steps to be taken, the responsible parties, and the communication protocols to be followed. Rafael, Objective Group have been working to help insurance companies successfully target customers who are at risk to churn. Can you tell us a bit more about how you're doing that?
Sure. Thanks, Erica. Yeah, so we brought here today churn prevention case study. And as you probably know, churn prevention can be one of the biggest challenges insurers face nowadays. And that's because policyholders, they can easily compare and be bombarded with many, many different options. And as Erica mentioned earlier, a modern DXP, it must provide ways to anticipate these scenarios and try to mitigate different types of risks. And that includes also the risk of early cancellations. And in order to achieve that, you would need the results of a predictive analysis project like the one our team of data scientists at Objective delivered for a leading health insurer. And this is what we did in a nutshell. So the first step was to prepare over 13 million records from three different databases. Usually at this stage, for some customers, there will be a lot of data architecture and refactoring to enable this data to be used in this kind of initiative. But that wasn't the case here for this particular customer. After the first step, we need to develop a machine learning project or algorithm based on the historical data that is available, right? Then we create a statistical model to calculate churn propensity. And the last step is to evaluate and use the model to identify areas where retention efforts should be focused. And in terms of results for this specific customer, we found target retention actions on the 10% of customers at highest risk of cancellation. And that helped to retain, in the end, 40% of potential cancellations. And that means, in the end, that you are optimizing resources and the retention team's time, and also that you're keeping customers, right? And something that I wanted to mention as well is how you can use this data within Liferay. So first, you can integrate churn risk scores into user profiles, so agents can quickly identify customers who need attention. This is one thing you can do. Another thing is delivering personalized content and targeted retention offers to high-risk customers using dynamic pages or notifications. You can use automated workflows to alert the retention team when customers are flagged as high risk, for example. Or you can simply segment users by risk level and have tailored marketing campaigns, communications, and all of these actions in the end will help you to boost customer engagement and retention. So my key takeaway here is that having this kind of predictive analysis data, it's very, very important, something that insurers definitely need to invest in. But having a platform that will transform all of these data into actionable insights that will enable the retention team is paramount. So, and that this is exactly what Liferay provides. Yeah, Erica, please go ahead.
Great. Thanks so much, Rafael.
You're welcome.
All right. So, why end this story with risk management? Because none of the previous capabilities really scale until insurers tackle the elephant in the room, the decades old policy, billing, and claim systems that still sit at the heart of most carriers. Liferay's DXP can act as that catalyst for modernizing without the big bang shock that has stalled so many initiatives. DXPs facilitate decoupling and extending legacy core code through methods like headless APIs and function wrapping that allow organizations to maintain stability in core systems while iteratively updating their front-end experiences. Then secondly, DXPs can help organizations to start from the get-go with building cloud-native applications. This leverages microservices, containerization, and composable architectures to ensure scalability, resilience, and agility for delivering dynamic digital experiences. And lastly, DXPs accelerate this modernization process through AI-guided DXP migration, where you can now automate complex tasks like code analysis, API documentation, and smart content migration, significantly reducing the time, effort, and risk associated with transitioning to new platforms. DXPs offer a strategic approach to modernizing legacy systems by enabling that decoupling and extension through headless APIs that can expose existing data and functionalities to new front-end experiences. They act as kind of an integration layer, allowing developers to create wrappers around embedded legacy functions and making them accessible within a modern architecture without that complete overhaul. This phase modernization, leveraging DXP's comprehensive capabilities, but retains the core legacy operations. It minimizes risks and costs associated with the full-scale replacements and allowing for gradual updates and continuous innovation. DXPs facilitate that gradual integration with legacy systems, allowing organizations to incrementally update critical modules and realize value more quickly without disruptive overhauls. It's so important to maintain consistent user experiences, minimizing user trainings, and ensuring business continuity during back-end modernizations. This modular approach can significantly reduce the risk and cost associated with big bang replacements, enabling a more successful and cost-effective modernization journey. Building cloud native consolidates architecture and tooling. It fosters efficient development within a cohesive environment. And this approach inherently incorporates built-in best practices for scalability, resilience, and security, reducing custom development and ensuring robust solutions from inception. Leveraging cloud native principles like microservices and containerization enables rapid iteration and deployment of new features, allowing organizations to respond to market changes and realize business value much quicker. Building with cloud native really epitomizes the modern application landscape. This is achieved through automated infrastructure management, pay-as-you-go consumption models, and reduced operational overhead. The ability to precisely scale resources and benefit from lower infrastructure costs optimizes resource utilization, allowing IT teams to focus on innovation rather than maintenance. By using large language model analyzers, which can crawl legacy source code as well as batch jobs and flow processes, AI tools can quickly parse vast, often poorly undocumented code bases, identifying dependencies, business logic, and data flows that would take human experts months or years to uncover. This deep understanding is crucial for planning an effective migration strategy approach. And secondly, these AI capabilities enable auto-documenting APIs efficiently. As the AI comprehends the existing system's functionalities, it can automatically generate clear, structured API documentation for legacy functions, making them easily consumable by the new DXP and modern applications. This significantly reduces the manual effort and potential errors associated with creating documentation. And lastly, AI-associated code discovery excels at suggesting effective decoupling points within a monolithic legacy system. By analyzing code interdependencies and usage patterns, AI can pinpoint ideal modules or functionalities that can be extracted and exposed as independent services, facilitating a phased and less risky migration. For smart content migration, generative AI excels at mapping and cleansing large quantities of documents, employing AI algorithms to understand content relationships, identify duplicates, flag outdated or irrelevant information across disparate legacy sources. This automated cleansing ensures only valuable content is migrated, preventing the transfer of digital clutter. And secondly, smart content migration converts those documents into structured assets, transforming unstructured legacy content like PDFs, FAQ articles, old HTML pages into semantically rich component-based content that fits the DXP's modern data model. This restructuring makes content modular and reusable across various channels and applications. And finally, the process enhances SEO, tagging, and accessibility by leveraging AI to automatically apply relevant metadata to optimize for search engines and identify areas for accessibility improvements. This not only makes content more discoverable and consumable post-migration, but also ensures compliance and a superior user experience from day one. Rafael, Objective Group have been able to utilize AI to accomplish this and much more. Can you please walk us through how effectively AI can speed up the migration process and ensure a smooth transition?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Erica. Yeah, so I would say that anyone who has faced a migration project understands how challenging it can be, and with delivery dates and budgets that are often hard to predict. And as a result of that, these projects are often deprioritized, and that happens until the pain of staying on outdated technology becomes greater than the pain of migrating, for instance. And this is one of the reasons why Liferay and Objective have been heavily investing in AI-assisted migrations, especially of digital experiences such as public sites and portals. So we can deliver better results with smoother transitions. And when it comes to what Liferay offers right now, there's a bunch of useful tools to streamline migration, such as web content and DIM migration. It's are two different tools. So the first automatically imports website content and creates the corresponding Liferay structures and setup, while the second focuses on migrating visual themes and styles. And on the service side, Objective focuses heavily on the development process and on how AI can be leveraged to make the entire process more efficient, also cost effective and less prone to errors. And so I'm going to explain how our development process, looks in a nutshell. So when it comes to Liferay, right? So we are almost 100% using vibe coding. So this is one thing. For those unfamiliar with vibe coding, this is an automated way to build a software where AI is responsible to generate most of the code. So engineers, they can focus more on ideas and design instead of writing code by hand. So the main advantages of using vibe coding are first, faster development. So as you automate code generation, that will allow projects to be completed much more quickly. Fewer errors because it really reduces human mistakes and bugs, resulting in cleaner, more reliable code. And my favorite one, it's open space to focus on innovation. So that helps teams and frees teams from repetitive coding so they can concentrate on creative solutions and user experience. Uh, Other examples of how we have been leveraging AI to migrate digital experiences. So, for example, web components are generated automatically. We can use Figma designs as inputs to generate code and accelerate the process of migrating. Custom widgets, we've been um, collecting, really good results when it comes to migrating custom widgets automatically, regardless of which platform they were built originally. well, functional documentation can be generated from the actual code, which helps a lot. And documentation can be a challenge for many products, many projects and teams. We use a lot AI assisted code reviews, and also we've been using really well to develop functional specifications to analyze RFPs, generate test scenarios, and so on. So as we are progressing on this journey of AI adoption, we continue to refine our process, but we are already seeing really good results. For instance, one of our customers in the US, a major federal bank in New York, is already experiencing, I would say, 30 to 40% increase in efficiency when migrating their public website from a competitor's technology. So I would say that, in summary, AI assisted migration with Liferay and Objective, it's helping to turn what was once an unpredictable process into a fast, efficient, and reliable experience, because we've been really focusing on automating complex tasks and open space so engineers they can focus on innovation, and so we can get this kind of boost, around 30 to 40% increase in efficiency when we are working on a given project. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, for this case study, that's all I wanted to share, Erika.
Thanks a lot, Rafael. That's an amazing use case.
Thank you.
Okay, so lastly, I just want to leave you with a visual on a few of many companies who have been helped through achieving their objectives using Liferay DXP. Liferay has empowered these companies to enhance their customer engagement, to streamline their operations, and ultimately to drive growth. Check out the Liferay website for more information on many of these use cases. And as a follow-up to the webinar, we'll include a white paper resource as a token of our appreciation. So please check it out.
Okay, yeah, so thanks for joining today's webinar. And as a participant, you will have access to discounted migration package to Liferay. Let me explain. Because we've been refining our migration process with AI for some time, we are now able to offer a really, I would say, highly competitive pricing based on a few key project assumptions. So if you'd like to learn more about how you can start your migration project today, please reach out to us. Let us talk. And also you have access to a complimentary consultation to discuss our AI powered migration and development and how it can help you solve or build your unique insurance use case. So if you're interested in that, just scan the QR code on your screen to claim the personalized consultation or the discounted migration package to Liferay. This is exclusively and available only to participants of the webinar.
All right. Thank you so much for your time today, everybody. We encourage you all to reach out after this webinar so we can talk more about staying agile, staying competitive, and continuing to deliver exceptional customer experiences. I think we have a little bit of time for a Q&A, so I'm going to throw it back to AJ to see if we have any questions.
Yes, thank you guys both for your participation today, and thank you everybody that has attended the webinar. We do have a couple of questions, so let me get things started. Question number one, regarding the churn prevention case study, can you share any examples of specific retention strategies or offers that were triggered for high-risk customers, and how effective were they?
Sure, I can take this one, AJ. Thank you. So for this particular case study, I'm not able to disclose the exact retention strategies that were used, but I can share some examples of retention initiatives that can, be easily implemented using a platform like Liferay. So, for instance, you can deliver targeted content and notifications, as I mentioned earlier. Once you identify high-risk customers, and you can automatically display banners, pop-ups, or targeted messages with renew incentives or upgrades when they log in. Another example, you can use personalized email campaigns. So Liferay segmentation feature is really helpful to send highly customized emails with special offers, reminders, or even educational content based on each user's risk profile and behavior. What else? I would say self-service retention options. So you can enable high-risk customers to easily adjust their policies, request quotes for additional coverage, or access loyalty programs directly in the portal. And that will increase the chances they will find a solution that meets their needs. Yeah, and I guess one of my favorite ones, proactive support requests. You can auto-generate support tickets or notifications for your retention team whenever a high-risk customer logs in or performs certain actions, so that will allow for timely personal outreach, which is always useful. And so all these types of approach have proven to be really effective in similar projects, and for sure that they will help to improve, retention rates, and because they try to address customer needs in a timely and personalized manner, which is the most important thing, right?
Okay, awesome. I have another one here for you. Can you share a bit more about what vibe coding looks like in practice for a typical development team?
Absolutely, yeah. So I mentioned that vibe coding is an approach or a methodology where artificial intelligence uh, actually plays a central role in the software development process. In practice, for a typical development team, this means that instead of developers writing every line of code manually, they leverage AI tools to automatically generate most of the code based on high-level inputs such as user stories, prompts that uh, they write, or design files like those from Figma, or even functional requirements can be used. And what really matters here is that the development team's role shifts from focusing heavily on low level or repetitive coding to guiding the AI, right? And and that help them to validate the generated code uh, faster, easier, and it also helps them to focus more on creativity and solving complex business problems. So, for example, a designer can hand off a Figma file, and the AI will generate the front-end components directly. Developers might then just review and fine-tune the code, ensuring that it is matching, business logic, and that it's integrating correctly with backend systems. So this approach will help you to speed up initial build significantly. It will reduce human error. It will allow developers to spend more time on innovation and less on boilerplate tasks. And I believe that it also encourages more collaboration between design and development, which is awesome because the process it becomes simpler, right? So in our experience, teams using vibe coding are able to deliver projects faster, They can also adapt quickly to changing requirements, which happens all the time in any project, and they can also dedicate more energy to creating real business value, right? So I guess this is our vision of vibe coding and how it helps the team, and also what value it brings to customers.
Okay, great. I have one more question, it looks like, for you guys. Are there any prerequisites or must-have organizational capabilities before starting on these kinds of projects, especially when it comes to AI and predictive analytics?
Okay, yeah, I can take this one too. Yes, I would say there are some key important things or prerequisites, but the most important uh, are having reliable, well-structured data, and ensure that there's open channel for strong collaboration between business and IT. It's also critical to have the right technology, infrastructure, and a readiness for change, because AI and predictive projects often require new ways of working and perform your making decisions. And I just wanted to mention that um, at Objective, we don't just deliver AI and predictive analytics projects, we also support organizations with all the necessary requirements, and that includes data governance, process enablement, training, and change management to make sure that the organization is ready for this kind of transformation. So even if your company is just starting this journey, we can help build the foundation, and as well as deliver the project itself.
Yep, and I would reiterate that if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out. You can talk to Objective and schedule a complimentary consultation here. Check out the QR code, make sure you scan this, and we can continue the discussions.
That's it.
Okay, great. Well, I think that's all the questions that we have. I want to thank you, Erica, and Rafael again for presenting today, and everyone in the audience that made time to join us. We look forward to having you on another webinar, and we hope to hear from you very soon. All right, take care.
Take care. Thank you.
Thanks for joining, everyone.